Millennials are playing more of a significant role in our community, and a new group is helping them to be prepared. We discuss the need for foster care for undocumented minors, and we discuss useful tips for this year's income tax filing. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods, to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time, to understand the past.
Choose to soar, to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, a member of Geisinger, Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world, and South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. Millennials represent 30% of the U.S. population and have become a powerful force. Joining me to discuss more about their importance is Quandel Iglesia. Quandel, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So what is a millennial? I know you're one.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is a millennial?
A millennial ranges from 20 to 34 of age as of right now.
So I would be a baby boomer.
Yes.
And what are the other generations?
We have our baby boomers, we have our Generation X, we have our millennials, and then we have our Generation Z.
Okay, so Generation Z is 19 to baby, and then the Generation X is 35 to 49.
Exactly.
And then 50 to 68 are the baby boomers. So
yes.
I fall into that baby boomer category. But tell me, you started an organization to focus on millennials. Right. Tell me about that.
Our purpose and our true values is to help young business professionals emerge into the business place. I know going into the business space, launching my first company at 16, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, from every way, shape, or form, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say, not knowing how to conduct yourself, not even knowing what to wear. There's a lot of things that you have to learn, and I feel as though that overall education piece is super important.
So why do you? I mean, obviously you saw a need for yourself.
Yes.
But why do you think it was so important to form an organization around it?
A lot of younger people were reaching out to me. They're like, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you get connected here? Or how do you go about speaking or conducting yourself in a respectable manner?" And that was pretty much me going from there and launching the organization.
I know you started at a very young age. You mentioned that at 16 you started a business, but you have a lot of accolades and your community involvement. What do you attribute that to?
Service, giving back. One thing I always speak about when I go out is your success is connected to your service. The more you're giving back and the more you're serving your community, the more that comes back to you if you have the right intentions and the right motives behind it.
So do you feel millennials have that spirit of community service?
Yeah, I agree. I think so. I think we're ready to get our hands going on things if we get passionate about it.
Let's talk a little bit about the organization itself that you started. Tell me what's the goal of the organization. You have regular meetings. Tell me about it.
So we have an event every single month. So it's broke down between a workshop, panel, or networking event. When we first launched the organization, our goals and theme was making of an empire. Especially getting started from nothing, being able to, and then going to now, we're backed financially by Investors Bank, South Jersey Federal Credit Union, Samaritan Healthcare, and Hospice. Virtuous has some really amazing sponsors starting off, but as I said, making of an empire.
You make a very good point. You see that organizations see the importance and the role the millennials play, and they're trying to tap into that. We want to discuss a little more about this. We want to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue to discuss the importance of millennials today with Juan Del Iglesia with SNJ Millennials. Did I say it right?
Yes.
So we were talking about the organization that you started, and certainly the fact that there's a number of organizations turning to you, to your organization, to talk about millennials and get more involved with millennials. What's the biggest contribution that millennials offer in the workplace?
I would say being innovative, thinking outside of the box, bringing their company or existing company to the 21st century.
One of the things I hear about millennials is the fact that they're not necessarily adhered to a 9-to-5 work environment, and there needs to be a little more flexibility on employers.
One thing that I can say is when I went down to Atlanta, Georgia with Chick-fil-A, I was on a webcast with the CEO. It reached over 190,000 business professionals nationwide. And their culture with Chick-fil-A, being able to go into their facilities, no one has a desk. Sounds insane. No one has a desk. They're all working in environments where they're just, it's kind of, when you think of like a coffee shop in a way, that's the environment. And people are working together. You see team settings. People are, on whiteboards. People are really just together and being a part of, working with each other and being together. So
what
it's
do you
very interesting.
what do you say to those Gen Xers and those baby boomers who have to work with millennials? What should they be keeping in mind?
Be patient. Be patient and definitely express where you're coming from and what you're saying. It's super important. A
big role of your organization is networking. Why is that so important?
It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. You don't know what to do in most cases. So making sure that we're teaching how to network. I have a team we have 9 board of directors all together, and they're working endlessly to make sure that the people coming out to the events are feeling welcome, feeling supported.
The face-to-face is very important. I see that a lot of the millennials are more into in the computer, more into technology and social media, but actually going out and networking is still very important.
Right. And then what's so funny is a lot of individuals graduate college and don't have a resume, don't have a headshot, are going out to networking events and not wearing the right things, and that's not being taught in school. So having that hands-on application through our organization.
You dress very appropriate. So
I appreciate it.
You're a good example for those millennials.
I appreciate it.
So if someone wants to get involved with your organization, who should they contact? What's the website? What's the phone number?
So we have snjmillennials.org. They can go through the website, click the contact form, and be directed to an email that will be in correspondence with them.
So how often does your organization meet, and how many networking events do you have?
Yeah, so it's through the model of workshop panel networking. We'll be at Samaritan Healthcare, and we have an array of speakers on the panel who are going to share in depth about that.
Certainly very, very interesting and encourage millennials to participate in these kind of activities.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing this information. And please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. Unaccompanied minors are in need of loving foster care families. Joining me is Nicole Burgos with the Center for Family Services to tell us more about this need. Nicole, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you for inviting me, Bert.
Now you're the co-director, if you will, of the Juntos program.
Yes, I'm the assistant director.
Assistant director. Tell me about that program.
Okay, so together, the program is called Juntos. Together, we provide an array of different services for the minors that come over the southern border in order to reunite them with their families. We provide services such as clinical, residential. We keep them in. They stay in undisclosed shelters for their protection. They also get medical services, mental health services, case management services that will allow them to be reunited with their sponsors. We provide medical services as well.
So basically right now you're providing a temporary shelter, but you also are reaching out to secure these temporary foster care homes, if you will, to house some of those children? Tell me about that.
So our shelters generally keep minors ages 13 to 17. The shelter home, we are trying to provide shelter for our minors that are 0 to 12. And because they're tender age, they need specific one-on-one care in order to be able to adhere to the needs, their specific needs on a one-on-one personal basis.
So how many of those temporary foster care families are you looking for?
We'll be aiming for about 40.
And so they would have these children. How long would they typically stay with that foster care setting or house?
Okay, so generally it's like 30 to 90 days. It can take longer depending on the process in vetting the sponsor, but it can also be less as well.
And you envision that this would be a rotating basis, so they may have a child for 36 days and may end up having another child coming in after that. So you want to have those licensed homes, foster care homes available to accommodate that population.
Yes, correct.
What would be the qualifications for someone to participate in this program?
Okay, so we generally want people, so you can be 21 years old to be a shelter home partner, but we prefer 25, bilingual, English and Spanish. You need to be able to pass a background check, be able to have a good motor vehicle check, and have an extra bedroom. Because generally with one bedroom, 2 minors can stay in that bedroom if you decide to be licensed for.
And obviously the bilingual, primarily Spanish, because obviously the children are coming from mostly for Central America, only speak Spanish. So you're looking for the Latino community, Spanish speaking and bilingual, to be able to translate and understand what their needs are.
Right, exactly.
How does one go about applying for these foster care opportunities?
Okay, so they can go on our website, www.centerffs.org, or they can call me. My cell phone is 609-781-8601. And then we also have a specific line to my recruiter. She is the person that will be hands-on with the shelter home partners in the process of getting licensed. Her number is 609-781-9405.
So you do help these applicants go through the process so that they could be certified and licensed to be a foster care.
Correct. We give them constant support even after their license. We still remain hands-on with them because we want to keep them and we want them to feel appreciated the whole step of the way.
Well, we want to talk more about that.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion on the need for loving homes for unaccompanied minors. And Nicole, we were talking about the need for these homes, for these foster care families. And let me just capture everything you said. You're looking for 40 homes. This is a temporary setting, and they're looking to house kids between the ages of 0 to 12, and it's for 35 to 90 days.
Yes.
So let's talk about the licensing. We mentioned that you do help with the licensing.
Correct.
The licensing that's required, could that be used for other foster care opportunities?
Correct.
In other agencies?
Correct. So the shelter home partners that we have will be licensed through New Jersey. So they wouldn't have to only take fosters through us or take minors through Juntos.
Let's talk about the support, because that's very critical. There's a lot of questions. First of all, there is a financial support that you provide the families for taking care of the child. But let's talk about the other supportive services.
So we are available 24/7. So me as the assistant director, I am available. We also have our recruiters that will be assigned to each family that work side by side, hand by hand, before the process, during the process, and even after the process. And then on top of that, since the minors they do receive the services as well. So the shelter home families are constantly in the loop of what's going on.
So basically in the foster care, you would have the child have dinner, stay with you. But during the day, there's also daycare as well as, or going back to school, correct?
Right. So we have the shelter home partners don't even have to drive the minors to the schools. We have transportation services that will pick the minors up from their homes, transport them back into our center, and where they will be provided educational services. And if they're young, there'll be, daycare services that will be able, based on the age, the need of the age.
Obviously, some of these kids are going through some traumatic situations. There may be some therapy or other needs or medical needs, so they're also provided by you.
Right. So we do have clinicians on staff that are available during the day, and they're also on call as well. So again, still 24/7 support from all parts of the.
So those
program.
arrangements for the medical visits and all that, that's still handled through you?
Yes.
And not the foster care family?
Correct.
Let's give out that information again. If you want to participate, if you want to be part, and by the way, bilingual, as we indicated earlier, what do you have to do?
So you can check out our website at centerffs.org. You can also give me a call. My number is 609-781-8601. And then my recruiter, who is the entity that will be going through the process with these families, her number is 609-781-9405.
Now, you do a vetting process, right?
Correct.
You do interview those individuals, making sure that they're going to take good care of these children, and obviously all the background checks are also done as well.
Correct.
The background check also done for other family members in the
Correct. All the adults.
all the adults in the family.
Yes.
So I do have one final question. The foster homes you're looking for, is there in a specific area or throughout South Jersey?
Throughout South Jersey, we'll have specific recruiters available in the Atlantic County region and then in the Camden County region, so that are familiar with the area.
So basically Atlantic, Camden, Cumberland, Gloucester, those region, or that region is where you're
Correct.
looking for those foster families.
Correct.
Well, this is very useful information. Thank you so much, and hope
Thank
that some of our audience hears this message and are able to help.
Yes, thank you so much.
And thank you. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. Many of us are in the midst of preparing to file our income tax this year, and today we have Alien Garcia to discuss some of the changes that you will see in this year's returns. Alien, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you for having me again, sir.
Let's talk about the standard deduction, which is a big change for many. Tell me about that.
Okay, the standard deduction doubled this year, which from single used to be $6,300 and went to $12,000. Married filing jointly used to be $12,700 and now it's $24,000. Head of household used to be $9,350 and now is $18,000.
So what does that mean in terms of being able to do like a standard or itemization like you used to do before?
In the prior years, the government gave you two choices. Either you qualify for the standard or the itemized deduction. But now, due to the fact that the standard deduction went double, it's very hard to itemize now.
So before, if you could go over the 24,000 as a married, you could still itemize.
Yes.
But the problem is it's less that you could deduct. Tell me about that.
Well, they took away a lot of things to deduct, like job expenses, the disaster relief, when any disaster happened, that they took it away too. They took away moving related to expenses related to a job related. And, those things don't help nobody at all.
I know that obviously there was other minor deductions, like you could deduct how much you pay to prepare your tax.
Tax preparation fees and certain things.
So
like
basically they really skimmed down the amortization and forcing a lot of people just to go with that standard deduction. So
you got that right.
You're going to see a lot less people filing for the itemization.
Exactly.
Let's talk about if you happen to be undocumented and you're using the PIN to file. Is there anything different?
Well, this year, ITINs will have expiring date, which means those people that never used it in the prior 3 years, automatic is expired. So they will have to renew it. So then I-Teens still help you and benefit when you don't have documents in the case that you need to file paperwork for immigration. So it's like a proof that you're paying taxes.
Yeah, it's part of the immigration process, right? You have to show that you've been paying taxes.
It's mandatory, yes. So
the process is still pretty much the same, and obviously you face the same challenges in terms of the deductions, what you're eligible for, and still be able to use those standard deductions for the most part.
yes, they also do use the same standard deduction. The only difference is that people with I-Teens don't qualify for earned income credit and child tax credit. They only qualify for the extra child tax credit the longer the dependent have a Social Security. Other than that, he don't qualify for that neither.
So the earned income credit is still at play for most people, except if you're undocumented, obviously. But it's still at play, so you could still qualify for that benefit. Folks who do not who do have a Social Security number,
They
do qualify.
Yeah, the earned income credit works based on income.
If someone wants more information, can you give out your contact information?
Oh yeah, we have our website, www.atax.com/Atlantic City, and our phone number is 609-246-3139. And they're welcome to call and ask any question.
Okay, and it's important to make sure you have the right information this year especially.
A lot of people got caught by surprise. So.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing this
sir.
information. Thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, a member of Geisinger, Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world, and South Jersey Gas.